Right. Hopefully somebody's on here checking on the levels. Testing 1, 2, 3. You there, monkey?
Wow.
What?
You put it on follower only chat, which means I can't message in the chat until I've been followed for a month.
Oh, hang on.
I was trying to chat on the Twitch, and I was like, what?
Right, try now.
Okay, yeah, I can message now.
Right. I'll leave you on phone a minute. What's the levels like in the in-game and my voice? Higher or lower for the voice, or
Lower for the voice, higher for the
the game? Higher for the game.
Yeah, but only a bit.
Hang on. What's that like?
I can't listen to it while I'm on call.
Say again.
I can't listen to it while I'm on call. It doesn't let me.
Well, yeah, comment then. Yeah, comment in the chat. We'll knock it off.
Okay.
Oh, loop of shame. Came in a bit hot. Right, for those people who don't know about the different modes, you've got your combat mode for killing stuff, and you've got your analysis mode, which basically is for discovery of various things. And as you can see on there, you've got quite a bit of highlighted hotspots. Now, I'm used to playing this in VR, so I don't have to move the ship normally to get these highlighted, but as you can see, you've got a Painite hotspot there, a Serenbite, you've got loads, but what we're looking for is a double hotspot, and that is here. Now, let me go in the right position. Now, as you can see, we've got one hotspot there, another hotspot there. So if you can imagine two circles coming from each of those hotspots, they overlap, and they overlap in a line from there to there. So we want to be in the middle, and normally, see that little black line, we want to be there because when we actually enter there, it won't be as dense, which is good because we're going to speed into that. So increase my speed, keeping that imaginary line between the two hotspots. it will automatically shut the engines down. There we go. Right, got a little bit of damage there, but only 1%. Now, normally when you go into these asteroid fields, if you look on the radar, right, Monkey, what about the voice over the engines? Because the engines can get quite loud. Right, you can see on the radar that we've got two little blips. Well, they're normally, when you first arrive in here, you normally get pirates coming trying to take whatever stuff you've mined. Well, I've not got anything, so let's have a look, see if they say anything. What do you have in your cargo hold? Nothing, mate. A wasted effort. There's no cargo here. So what will happen in time is they will eventually go. They will port out and then you're okay to mine. But we have to wait. But in the meantime, let me go through a couple of things. Now you can see here, let's find the actual planet that this field is round. There we are, and that is what it looks like. That's the asteroid field where the Painite's going to be in the hotspots. So what we need to do now is to highlight the nearest hotspot. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. We'll have a look. 1.85 and highlight that. And there it is. Now the reason we do that is as we go forward into the asteroid and start looking at each asteroid and mining, we don't want to be staying in one place because we'll be putting prospectors into the same asteroid, which we don't want. So the other thing is it's quite light now. But if you get a problem where you're struggling to see the actual asteroids because the light from the sun in this system, basically you hit the shadow, the best way to do it is to go to your ship and then turn on night vision. And there you are. All the asteroids are nicely lit up in green. So even if it's really, really dark, you're not going to be crashing into any of them. So again, we're going further and further into the actual asteroid field now. A little reminder, always,
cargo scoop deployed.
Yep, always deploy your cargo scoop. Ouch. See, I'm used to doing in VR, would have seen that one, but I've got shields, so that's not a problem. Now while these pirates are whizzing round, and we can always check to see are they still there. They're out of contact range, but they're still there. If I start mining, they'll be on me like a cat on a mouse. So hard points deploy. Now the best thing to do before you send your prospector out is try to pick one that's stationary, because if that proves to have a good percentage of Painite, it's a lot easier to mine than one that's spinning round. So let's send one off.
Programming limit drone.
There it goes. Highlight it. Now if you look at the bottom left of the screen, you've got your limit prospector. That will tell you what is in the asteroid as soon as it hits. There we go.
Engaged.
Right, osmium 30%, which I do collect.
Asteroid scan complete.
But while those bandits are still going round, if you look on the radar, they're on at about 9 o'clock, coming up to 10 o'clock, circling. They will disappear eventually. But in the meantime, what I can do is send out another prospector, see if there is any Painite, and let's have a look, see if there's any stationary asteroids. In VR this is a lot easier, but it's harder to stream in VR because I can't see chat, I can't see the controls of OBR, so I can see one over there that's quite static. So now, can you see that little yellow dot on my targeting? Let me show you how to have that, and the reason you have that is because that is exactly the point of where your prospector is going to go, because you can, if that's not on, you can miss the asteroid. So let me show you where that is. It's in options, controls, general controls, and it's called the mouse widget, if I remember right. It's not on that one. Just bear me a second. Controls, I'm looking for mouse. Here we go, mouse. And it's called show mouse widget. So I'll turn it off and you'll see that that little yellow dot is missing. Now you would think, oh yeah, you've got your X, which is your aiming device, but that cannot be as accurate as the yellow widget. So I'm going to turn it back on. There we go. Remember to apply. And there we are, we've got it. So with that right in the centre, send another prospector out.
Programming limpet drone.
And once it's on its way, you can move. So let's highlight that and see what's on that one. Again, we're waiting for it to show up on the limpet prospector window on the left.
Prospector limpet engaged.
Not very good. Gold indite, we don't need that. So we'll get
Asteroid scan complete.
highlight that one. We'll go and get the osmium, which is worth a penny or two. So I can see now that the pirates have disappeared off the radar, so we should be okay. They're long gone now. Make sure on your engine system and weapons that your weapons are at full pips, and you've got a little bit on engines and a little bit on system, which is your shields. And as you can see, my shields are up now, so we're fine. So when you've got something like this which is static, it's best to go up to it slowly, literally touch it with the nose of the aircraft, with the spacecraft. There we go, and then all we do is fire the lasers off and the collectors will automatically fire. Now I must show you this, it's a nice little trick. The collectors and the mining lasers are on the same button, or the firing trigger, in the weapon slot. So let me show you what I mean. You see the fire groups? So you've got your collectors and your mining lasers all on one. In this case I've got 3 mining lasers, and then I've got 2 collectors. Sorry, 3 collectors. They're all on one, so when I'm clicking one, not only is it firing the mining lasers, it's deploying the collectors, and sometimes they get destroyed, sometimes they don't, but if you always, as long as you're firing your laser, you're automatically enabling another collector, and the prospector is on a different fire group, on a different button on the joystick. So let's do a bit of mining, get a little bit closer, and I'm firing. Now you can't see the firing, but let me reverse. Now there you can see the bits coming off, and my collectors are picking them up, but you can see how quick it is when you're closer. It's depleted now, but all those little bits are being put into your ship. There we are, osmium. You go into the hopper itself, you've got indite, which you don't want, so you can get rid of. So on that one I got 6 osmium, and obviously my limpets have gone down because I'm using them. So you have to gauge it roughly 50% of your cargo capacity. So obviously as you increase the amount in your storage, in the inventory, you're letting some of it go with the limpets because they don't last forever. So reverse out. Well, what we're here for is Painite as well as osmium. So going forwards, God, this is difficult without being in VR, to be honest. Again, we've got the Painite hotspot highlighted, so we know we're going in one direction rather than going round in circles, so to speak. Always looking for a prospective asteroid that's stationary, which is easier to mine. That's possibly one. Let's fire.
Programming limit drone.
And see what is in that one.
Prospector limpet
Oh,
engaged.
Painite 29. Anything over 25% Painite's worth mining. So again, get very close, but this time I'll get really, really close, so it's a quicker mine. You can use your thrust key, your thrusts, to keep roughly in the same position if it starts moving because of the mining. As you can see on the bottom left, with 40%, 42%, and that just gives my weapons a chance to recharge, because I haven't got the best gear on this. Again, back up. Have a look what we've got. 7 gold, we don't need that, so get rid. We got 9 Painite. Look in the hopper. Yeah, it's just Painite and osmium. That's what I tend to keep in there. and forwards. Again, getting that highlighted Painite hot spot where I can see it, so I know that I'm not going round in circles. There we go. I'm going to have a look at this one and the one behind, well, this one especially because it's the right shape.
Programming limpet drone.
Sometimes shapes denote what's in them.
Prospector limpet engaged.
And in that case I was wrong.
Asteroid scan complete.
That's moving. That one isn't.
Programming limpet drone.
So let's go and have a look at that.
Prospector limpet failed.
Now this can be done with any ship. I mean, I've got quite a large ship here, but you can do this with a hauler or an adder. Even if you're only collecting 10, 20 ton of whatever.
Prospector limpet engaged.
1 ton of Painite, or 1 unit of Painite,
Asteroid scan complete.
can be sold for as much as 220,000 credits. So you don't have to be a great mathematician to realise that if you get 10 of those, you're getting close to 1 million credits just on one mining run. And as you get bigger and better ships with more storage, you can increase your yield from one mining trip. If I fill this up to say 500 tons, I would expect at least 60 to 70 million credits. This is not as productive as it used to be, as they've geared down the prices, but you can still make millions of credits doing this. So fire the next prospector.
Programming limpet drone.
Don't forget to highlight it.
Prospector limpet engaged.
No look there.
Asteroid scan complete.
Again, that little yellow dot,
Prospector
that mouse widget, comes in very useful when firing prospectors because you know exactly where they're going to go. Once they're on the way, you can move, obviously.
Prospector
Here we go.
engaged.
Painite, and it's high material contact, well worth
Asteroid
the
scan
mine.
complete.
Now, as you can see, this one is moving slightly, so we won't get too close. He says as he bumps into it. No. Come out slightly. You must keep your eye on the rotating asteroids because they can not so much damage the ship, but they can damage the collectors. Let's have a look what we got. Obviously silver, which we don't want. I've got a fair bit of Painite on that one. As I said, if you go into your hopper and just get rid of all the bits and bobs that you don't want, they just go out into space. Some people keep them, but you're only selling them for 5,000-6,000 credits, whereas one Painite, which is taking room in the inventory, can be as much as 220,000. So it's logical to keep that rather than silver. And this is what you do. What I tend to do is when I'm doing this, chilling out, I get the sound of the game off, listening to some music and chill. It's very calming doing this. Anyway, I'll go back to the ship. Normally I'd do that until I'd got at least 200, 300 Painite.
Cargo scope retracted.
Now, a little word of warning is when you've got a hull full of precious minerals, you are liable to get intercepted by pirates. On this particular ship I can handle most things. It's not a fighting ship, it's a mining ship, but you can outrun them and normally anyway, so
Frameshift 5 charging.
let's speed up a bit.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Let's find my fleet carrier. There we are, Wigan Pier. Right, we're on the way. So that's the basics of laser mining. There are other forms of mining, but I find that's quite easy. Even with a small ship like a hauler or an adder, get 10, 15, 20 cargo space, 20 ton. Oh, let me show you. I'll wait until I'm on my fleet carrier before I show you the things that you need for mining, i.e. what additions you need on your ship to accommodate it. So in the meantime, I'm keeping an eye on contacts. Also top right on the info, that will tell you if there's a new contact detected. That could be a sign that you may get intercepted, so increase your radar. Nothing on the radar, which is good. As I said, oh, let me turn off the night vision, because you can get some weird effects on your ship when you've still got night vision enabled. The fleet carriers are pretty far away from this system because it used to be a very popular system for mining, obviously, but there are so many abandoned fleet carriers now, you just get shoved further and further away from the main asteroid belt. Yep, no contacts, which is good news. Making sure I don't do a loop of shame as I get to my carrier. You can see on the distance and speed, I'm 2,600 light seconds away. It's going to take 1 minute 47, 43, 41. That's going down quickly. When it gets down to 30, 20 seconds to get to your destination, it's always best to slow down a tad and then go to 25% power. So it's a standard 7 to 6 seconds, and it will keep like that until you actually go out of drive. Right, we're coming up to 26, 25. You can see the light seconds are closing in fast. There we go. Gone to 75% power. I did say 25%, didn't I? That was wrong. 75%. And you can see I'm 10 seconds away. It's going to light seconds, then it'll go to milliseconds in a second. Keeping it a constant approach speed, 9 seconds, 13, 12 light seconds. You'll see that drop to milliseconds. Whizzing past the planet, which sometimes slows you down. Should hear it actually. Should be coming up now. There's my fleet carrier with all my other ships.
Welcome, Commander. Adherence to the speed limit is appreciated. Docking request accepted. A landing pad has been assigned to you, Commander.
I'll get roughly in the right position and then slow down so the auto dock computer takes over. A lot easier now than back in the day.
Request accepted. Docking confirmed. Engines shutting down. Hello, Commander. How may we assist you?
So let's go into what you need to do mining, no matter what ship you have. Go into outfitting. Right. Obviously you need cargo racks. In this case I've got two Class 8s, 256 tonne each, making just over 500. Refinery, you need this to actually convert the chunks into the constitutional bits like Painite or osmium, whatever. Collector limpet. Those are the things that you send out. I've got 3 of those, I think. Yep, 3. A Class 4, Class 5, and a Class 6. So that gives you more limits at a time. And then you've got your prospector limpet. Now, the type that you get is important. Your A's, your 5A's are, if you look, let's have a quick max of active limpets of 4. If you get a B, it's 3. If you get a C, it's 2. So the higher grade that you can get, the better, because you get more of the limpets and the collectors. And you need a detail scanner, obviously, to scan the actual asteroid rings to to show those highlighted hotspots. And that's it. But it doesn't matter what ship you've got. You can still equip, as long as you've got cargo, a refinery, your collector limpets and your prospector limpets, and you're golden. I hope that helps for anybody who's never done it, who's just come into the game. If you've got a small ship like a hauler, you can do mining. You can mine anything. There is a good little site, there's plenty of sites out there, third-party sites, to find out which systems to go to get a particular type of mining result. Right, I love you and leave you. Thanks for watching this VOD, because as I can see, there's nobody watching, but I've enjoyed it. Right, goodbye. I'm going to stop the stream now, and I will see you later. Goodbye.